Ty and CeeLo are back to play a Knicks edition of the Numbers Game. So our first number is 5. We are just 5 days away from the NBA trade deadline Thursday at 3 p.m. And as Josh Hart said, plenty of trade rumors surrounding the Knicks and their potential pursuit of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Ty, should the Knicks do whatever it takes to acquire Giannis?
Now, with all due respect, I find this question to be very disrespectful to Giannis, who, by the way, has won 2 league MVPs, has won a championship, dropped 50 points in a Game 6 to clinch the Bucks a title, one of the best defensive players in basketball, and at no point have you ever had to question his effort, his will to win. He is, at worst, the 4th best player in the league. So, should a team trying to win a championship try to go and get that guy? The answer is absolutely, unequivocally yes. He adds credibility, he adds stability, and by the way, here's a take, not all that hot. He would immediately become the best player to ever wear a Knicks uniform, and that's with all due respect to Clyde and Willis Reed and Patrick Ewing. Giannis is a top 30 player. He's still one of the best players in the league, so absolutely do whatever you can to get him.
Okay, now when we say whatever, anything, I mean, at some point, you got to put other guys out there on the court with him, right? Like, that's a factor. So I'm with you on everything you said about Giannis. The resume speaks for itself. But if we're talking about a true championship contender and being able to hang in there with some of the other titans in the NBA right now, specifically the reigning champs, wherever you want to throw out there from the West, they got to get there through the East, by the way. First is, what's left over. So if I'm talking about, I mean, obviously, we're talking about Cat here. Yeah. But, I mean, I want to keep most of the nucleus together if I can. And I understand to bring this sort of player in, there's a lot of assets you got to part with. I don't know if the Knicks have the picks, the future picks, in order to make a deal work unless Giannis is really trying to force his way here. But if I'm talking about having to give up, a Josh Hart, a Mikal Bridges, like at some point I need other guys out there on the court with him along with Jalen Brunson in order to compete at the highest level. So I don't know that I'm doing anything and everything to get it done, but I'm certainly putting my best foot forward while also trying to keep my team constructed as best as possible.
The eye contact that CeeLo and I made when you got very enthusiastic about that was priceless. You mentioned Cat, CeeLo. So if the Knicks do get Giannis, Karl-Anthony Towns almost certainly would be out. But he's picked it up recently. The number is 42 for this one. 42 rebounds in the last 2 games. So CeeLo, if the Knicks hold on to Towns, how confident are you that he's going to continue to be a difference maker?
I'm confident that he'll be a difference maker at times. To me, that's what I've seen from Karl-Anthony Towns since he's been here in New York. You get those games, and even in the playoffs, there were some performances where you're like, this was excellent, and this was everything the Knicks signed up for. And then there are other nights where you're wondering where he's at and why he's not making more of an impact. So, look, I appreciate the fact that he's picked it up since the rumors have started to, seep out there a little bit. You'd like to see that as opposed to him just shutting down completely and becoming an issue or a problem both on and off the court. Look, they've made a pretty good run last year. If he ends up staying here, if they don't make the Giannis move as currently constructed, could they make another deep run? Sure. But I still don't see him as the guy that's going to get them over the top. I think if they're going to get to that finish line, it's going to be more about what Jalen Brunson does rather than Karl-Anthony Towns.
It does seem like there was a little bit of a fire lit recently with him. All right, so our last number is 10,000. Jalen Brunson passed that career point milestone on Friday. Ty, what has the captain meant to this team and this city since coming to New York?
I mean, he's one of the best free agent signings in New York sports history. And here's all you need to know about Jalen Brunson. There is a conversation being had. Who's the king of New York? Is it Brunson or is it Judge? Judge, by the way, has 3 league MVPs and has been to a World Series. Brunson doing all of that despite not having the Judge accomplishments and achievements. But if he wins a championship in 4 months, it becomes the #1 transaction in New York sports history as far as free agency is concerned. So that's exactly what he's meant, and I expect him to continue to be an all-star level player.